Hey everybody, what's going on? Hellmite here, bringing you another video from Grab the Lantern today. Today I wanted to talk about teleport, its nerfs, and kind of the state of top lane, and why I think the teleport nerfs were not the way to go. Now, if you haven't been paying attention to the patch notes, teleport did recently suffer a fairly hefty nerf, I would say. Its cooldown was increased by 60 full seconds, so it's up to 360, which is 6 minutes if you don't want to do the math, and its cooldown when cancelled was increased by 40 seconds, from 200 to 240 seconds, which means it's just about, I believe, 4 minutes before teleport is available after being cancelled, and 6 minutes if you do let teleport be used. Now, this is relevant for a couple of reasons here, and I want to talk about them here. Now, I think that teleport did need something of a nerf, as it was sort of the premier summoner spell in the game, period. Obviously, top laners have been taking it for a long time, but mid laners started opting into teleport as well. Marksmen started opting into it this lane, or I should say bot laners, I suppose, have been opting into it this season as well, finally taking that just to keep their lane pressure up instead of using it to make plays or to be able to influence the map globally. Instead, they pretty much just sat on their teleport, made sure they had it in lane, and could always get back to lane quickly in order to not miss out on as much farm and to keep lane pressure up. And with lane pressure being as big of a deal as it is, it makes a whole lot of sense for why they ended up wanting to opt into teleport. The problem with it is that teleport ended up being the de facto choice now. It's obviously a no-brainer for top laners, but if mid laners are taking it and bot laners are taking it, well, that's a lot of teleports to go around, and that leads to a situation where there's so much lane pressure, and it becomes all about how long champions can stay in lane. Teleport really deep incentivizes lane activity because they can always just recall and teleport back, and it makes for a lot of really difficult situations to be in. So I totally understand that teleport needed some kind of a nerf. However, I think that increasing the cooldown on teleport, while it does the stated job of reducing teleport in strength and making it less attractive, it ultimately makes the summoner spell feel really bad, and it has a chilling effect on top lane. Now, obviously, speaking as someone who plays a lot of top lane, teleport is useful for more than just a way to always be in lane in top lane. For the most part, it is the only way for top laners to actually have an effect on the game outside of their own lane. Most activity just does not take place top lane unless junglers are coming up to gank. They pretty much don't ever visit top lane. Top lane is just not ever interacted with because Dragon is on the bottom side of the map. Your dual lane is on the bottom side of the map. A lot of the better camps are on the bottom side of the map because you don't have, obviously, Krugs and Gromp are just usually not that important. Champions really don't want to be going for them. They tend to stay closer to one side of the map or the other. And bot lane is a better option because you have potentially twice the rewards for ganking it. And top lane is a difficult lane to gank as well, just because of the champions that play into it, as opposed to all the squishy mages and marksmen that you have in other lanes. So what this means, though, is that because there's very little interaction with top lane, top laners need teleport if they actually want to ever play with the rest of the champions in the game, because they don't have that option currently. Unfortunately, they just kind of sit around and farm top lane, and teleport is the way in which they're able to make a play bot lane by teleporting to ward or a minion, or make a play mid lane, or basically in general leave the lane to go interact somewhere else. That's primarily why top laners brought teleport in the first place. Obviously, the additional lane pressure is good, but especially after the first teleport you've used to get back to lane, usually, you want to hold on to your teleport cooldown in the first place to try and make a play elsewhere and to have that global pressure at the ready, which you unfortunately can't really do if you're using it to constantly get back to lane and enemy champions can play around it. So the unfortunate thing about its nerfing is that now top laners really have no incentive to ever try to interact with the rest of the map. They have to stay top lane. And this has a couple of disadvantages. First and foremost, obviously, is that they're stuck in the 1v1 matchup. Top lane is even more of an island than it used to be if champions aren't taking teleport or feel like they just can't afford to ever use their teleport to get back to lane beyond the first time, possibly. The other problem with that is that what it does is it makes other champions significantly better in the top lane. Lane bullies, people like Garen or Darius or even Aatrox, who already were champions that could kind of get away with taking Ignite to just exploit their early pressure, are so much stronger now because there's a bigger window of time for them to actually get a kill on somebody, because if I teleport back, well, I have to wait a full 6 minutes in lane against a Darius before I have the ability to leave lane, give up lane pressure, and come back. Come back without giving up lane pressure. That's very difficult to do against a kind of bruisey, fighty champion like Darius. So tanks actually kind of suffer for this because a lot of times tanks are just holding down the top lane and looking for teleport plays, and they have no way of doing that if they basically can't afford to ever go top or to ever use their teleport to get back to lane. So it's just a bad situation to be in general. Yes, like I've been saying, teleport did need a nerf, but the cooldown nerf has a more chilling effect than I would like to see on the lane, and it really does enforce the fact that if you're top lane, you don't get to play with the rest of the map. Just play people who are good trading early, because you really won't have that opportunity to make a global play. Now, I don't know what else I would change about teleport other than trying to find a way to make it more about the global presence it can give you, as opposed to just maintaining the go back to lane more quickly strategy. A thought I had is that you could make it so that teleport is only a 6-minute cooldown if you teleport to a structure, and a lower cooldown if you teleport to a minion or ward. Obviously, this doesn't fully help the problem. Champions can just teleport to minions as opposed to teleport to their structure, or even worst case scenario, drop a ward under their own tower and then teleport back in. Sure, that has the sort of downside of you're using your trinket ward, which are very important in the early game in order just to get back to lane faster, but since trinkets regenerate pretty quickly, that doesn't really do a lot to solve the problem. But something along those lines, some kind of change that will make it so that teleport can be used more for its global presence and less for just maintaining lane pressure would be good, because I think that that's where teleport really wants to be. Teleport wants to be in a situation where it is about the fact that you can be anywhere on the map in 4 seconds, as opposed to just being, I want to get back to lane in 4 seconds. So again, I don't really know what I would do to fix it. Like I said, the thought I just kind of listed out there doesn't do a lot to actually solve the problem, because there's a lot of ways to exploit it. But something along those lines, even teleporting into a lane, like any lane, no matter where you go, has the increased cooldown. But if you teleport to the jungle or to a ward in a bush or something, maybe it's lessened. I don't know. But again, something needs to be done, because I think top lane not being a relevant summoner spell really does hurt the game, and it really does sort of pinch how top lane can be played in the kind of styles that you would want to use in top lane. So, but that's just my 2 cents. Go ahead and let me know what you guys are thinking of both the teleport nerf and possible fixes down in the comment section below. Would love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like. And if you really enjoy the video, consider subscribing. I upload a video every Monday, Friday, and on patch days as well. And if you're looking for more Grab the Lantern content, you can check out my blog, link down in the description. I upload an article just about each and every single day for your enjoyment. Once again, thank you guys so very much for watching. I do appreciate it. And I'll talk to you all later.